all around.
What's worth a click and download?
If you've been an avid user of Zoom for the past few months, you've definitely heard of the sadly well-known Zoombombers, who are basically not invited customers or guests onto your phone calls or even video chats on Zoom. But now, Zoom has actually released a brand new update that allows you to regain control of your video chat or voice call by simply choosing to kick those Zoombombers out of your call.
Now, Omnia, you said something very important that you probably didn't recognize. You said the past few months.
Yeah.
But it's almost a year now.
Oh my
We're
God.
going into 2021 next year.
Did you know that I think a few days ago it was COVID?
It's COVID-20 now.
It's COVID's first birthday.
Yeah, first birthday. So we're seeing that it's been almost a year now since the pandemic. So we're always kind of
feels like a few months.
A few months ago, we were in lockdown. I think we did start lockdown in March, and the excessive use of Zoom did start around March, and the stocks did skyrocket. But the things that we did see was a problem with Zoom was the Zoom bombing, and a lot of people coming into unwanted areas in Zoom, for example, a conference meeting, and making fun, whether it was a meeting
also
or
different
it was
classrooms for kids.
Classrooms for kids as well. Now, pranksters and hackers did find ways to invade Zoom calls and display shocking videos and even disruptive content, which is a practice that has become known as Zoom bombing. But with Zoom's new security feature, you'll be able to suspend a meeting to block bad content from being shown and even also report the Zoom bomber to Zoom.
Finally.
So these people will be held accountable because Zoom tried to make the experience much user-friendly. In what way? Let's say Omnia doesn't have Zoom. Omnia cannot download Zoom. So I'll just send you a link, Omnia, and you can click on the link and it will prompt you to a web page and you're in the call. So a lot of people didn't need to use the app, but at the same time, it gave a window of opportunity to hacksters and pranksters.
Absolutely. And it's very interesting that you mentioned how much Zoom has been working on its platform, because when the Zoom bombing attacks were first introduced, or people were actually starting to find them in their calls, Zoom actually basically started a 90-day plan to enhance all of its security features, simply because Zoom did actually advance very abruptly within a very short period of time. So their security features were not well adapted to how many users were using them. So finally getting an option where you can go ahead and block bad content from being shown on your meeting room, that's definitely a great option to get. And it is all found within the Suspend Participant Activities button.
Yeah. Omni and I have talked about Zoom and how it has skyrocketed the past year. I'm not going to even say past couple months now, the past year. And just like we said, Omni, time and time again, Zoom never anticipated this much of use on their platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was 2 months ago, it was announced that the founder, the CEO of Zoom, doubled his net worth in under a year. How often do you hear someone doubling their net worth? I'm not talking about $50,000 to $100,000. I'm talking about $5 billion to $10 billion.
That's Corona gone good.
That's Corona
done well.
Done well. Kind of, seized the opportunity with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we kind of never blamed Zoom. We just blamed that. I mean, you can't blame if someone tries to steal your house.
True.
Or break into your house. If someone tries to break into your house, are you at fault? I mean, you're not.
You're at fault if you don't fix your security.
If you don't fix your security. But we can see Zoom jumping on that trail and trying to fix any glitches or any kind of backdoors that would let you into a Zoom call that you're uninvited to. Now, with this feature, it's enabled obviously on Mac, PC, Linux, as well as Zoom Mobile's app. So it should note that you can have that feature on all platforms.
For free.
And Omnia, speaking about Zoom, did you know on Thanksgiving, the 40-minute free call that you have is going to be wiped out on Thanksgiving?
Yes, and that's definitely one of the best features of using Zoom, so people can actually go ahead and celebrate online. And I think this is definitely coming hand in hand with the lockdown that's been enforced on many states in the U.S. So they're trying to encourage people to social distance, not to meet up as frequently as they would. But if you're wondering about the security icon, as we've mentioned, it is called the Suspend Participant Activities on Zoom. When you click on it, all video, all audio, all in-meeting chats will basically be suspended, and all the breakout rooms, for those of you who don't know, in Zoom,
that's a waiting room.
No, the breakout rooms are basically, let's say you're a group of 10 people on one Zoom call. You can go ahead and split people. So you can have two on every call in a room on their own, so that they can go ahead and have some minor discussions.
Group discussion, for example.
Yeah, basically.
So the thing is, going back and talking about the Thanksgiving, that Zoom, because we do know, for example, right now, if I have a free account and Omni has a free account and we have a call, our call will only be 40 minutes. So when that's 40 minutes is up, we'll have to make a new call. But now, Zoom, on the occasion of Thanksgiving, they're giving that unlimited time limit to kind of encourage social distancing and say, hey, even though we're in a pandemic, you can still have time with your family through Zoom. And we've kind of done the same thing during Eid. During Eid, a lot of us did talk to our family using Zoom, and we didn't feel that we were at home.
It was different, but it was definitely the best case scenario to go through a pandemic within the age of technology. So
imagine if you had a Nokia Omnia back in 2003. You're bored playing Snake.
You would literally not find Omnia alive at the end of lockdown.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of people would go crazy.
It's honestly,
without this internet, this technology, you didn't have Zoom.
Exactly. If with technology we suffered this much during lockdown, what would have we done without it?
But the good thing you could see if this pandemic was in 2003 is that misinformation wouldn't spread that quickly.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Pros and cons of technology. Let us guys know your thoughts. 4215 do thoughts, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. We're going to be taking a short break, and when we come back, we're talking about a mask that has an air purifier. I mean, masks during the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of people are getting a lot of creative ideas. Keep Pulse95 locked, because we'll be right back. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it easier.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
Pulse 95.
New tech you might want to play with, or even put it on your face, because, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, so we're all wearing masks.
Yes, we are.
So why not wear a mask in style, and a technological mask? Because we're talking about LG and how they're rolling out a battery-run face mask with an air purifier right here in the UAE.
Apart from style, I think this face mask will solve the whole issue of feeling suffocated when you're wearing your face mask, whether you're going up the stairs or even when the weather is pretty hot. Luckily, the weather is cooling down a lot more, so it's more comfortable having a mask on. But LG Electronics have recently launched this battery-powered face mask, and it is called the Purifier Wearable Air Purifier. It comes with 2 air filters and a special case that can also make sure that your mask is always clean, because it can disinfect that mask with ultraviolet light. While this device could not be any more timely, especially because we're all approaching to winter, which means that we are honestly, we're stepping on icy floors.
Climates.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to make sure that we're protected and we're safe from the coronavirus pandemic. So trying to make sure that the air that we're breathing in is clean will be a lot easier when we have an air purifier embedded within our face mask.
Yes, Omni. Now, we have seen the market of protective gear, and it's booming, actually. Now, the global sale of disposable masks is expected to increase $166 billion from around $800 million in 2019. So we're seeing a big increase. Now, obviously, masks have become sort of like wearing socks, Omnia. You have to wear socks. It's a necessity now. So we're seeing how masks are coming into play. And the Purifier Wearable Air Purifier, which does weigh 126 grams, can be used from 4 to 8 hours. It is available in the UAE at select outlets. So you think you can find at Carrefour, Shut Off DJ, and even Ace stores for a price that goes around 699 dirhams. Now, let's just say 700 dirhams, Omnia. Would you pay 700 dirhams for this type of gadget?
It's a hefty price, but honestly, I think I would, simply because it's more comfortable to use and it's a reusable one. So we're looking at you being able to use it for 4 to 8 hours every single day and being comfortable while having it on.
Okay, and also the filters. They'll give you 2 free ones, but then you'll have to buy each filter for 60 dirhams.
Now you just made things more complicated.
See, exactly. So you're going to have to change the filter, and it's going to cost you 60 dirhams. I mean,
if I could just know how long COVID-19 is going to be staying in our lives, that's when I could actually make the investment.
Now, let's talk about how they come with dual fans that does allow users to take in clean and filtered air. They are fitted with a patent respiratory sensor that does detect the cycle and volume of the wearer's breath and adjust the fan speed accordingly. Now, these fans do automatically speed up to assist air intake and do slow down to reduce resistance when exhaling to make breathing effortless. Now, a lot of people do suffer from respiratory diseases. Some people do have asthma, and they can't have a mask on for many hours, even though some research does show that doesn't affect the way you breathe. But again, it's all a psychological thing. You're having something covering your face, and you might get a little bit tired. So maybe going to this type of mask is better for these type of people. So what do you think about this, Omnia?
I definitely agree with you, especially because, as you've mentioned, psychologically, it can also be tough for many people, especially those who they suffer from claustrophobia, so they hate having something very restrictive on their face, or those who basically tend to feel suffocated every time they're going up the stairs, going down the stairs, putting in some physical activity, and even those who have glasses on, because when you have glasses on, sometimes wearing a mask can fog up your glasses. So with a mask like this is no longer an issue. But also because let's look at it from a sustainable point of view. Every person is wearing a face mask, and we're all wearing those medical masks that we wear once or twice and then have to throw them because they're no longer effective. So having such a reusable mask is definitely a lot better for the environment. And about 75% of all the used masks will basically end up in landfills. So a lot of people have been trying to go through the route of wearing cloth masks, washing them, but are we actually washing them in the right way? Are they fitted in the right way to fight the COVID-19 pandemic? Not really. So I definitely see a reason why people would buy this mask, especially that it's right now available in the UAE. So it's not just some futuristic mask that you're never going to find on the market.
Yes, it's quite pricey though. 700 dirhams, and changing a filter that will cost you 60 dirhams.
Every time.
It's
every few weeks, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but I personally think it's much of a hassle. I don't want to think about wearing a mask. Now, before I go, I have a box of masks in my car and at the front door of my house. So before leaving my house, I'll put on a mask and keep going. And if my mask it breaks or cuts off, I have another backup mask in the car.
But where does that mask go? To the landfills.
So to the landfills, yes. For the environment, it is better. But at the same time,
it's bad.
The mask is better for the environment. So there's a lot of things, pros and cons. But I personally think for the environment, yes, everyone has to do their part to save the environment because global warming is real and it's working. So,
but it's pricey.
It's pricey, and I personally don't believe, Omnia, that global warming stops with you and I. It's the big companies, it's the big industries, the big factories that need to stop global warming, who are giving their carbon footprint, not us, not you and I, Omnia. Yes, we do have to do not pollute and throw our masks in the road. At the same time, I'm doing my job and putting it in the recycling bin. It's whoever picks up my garbage or my recycled material and what they do with it. That's a different conversation for a different time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to go because it is Thursday. It's been a long week, and I'm excited for the weekend. Are you?
I'm definitely excited for the weekend, and I hope you all are as well. But to celebrate the weekend, coming up is Afternoon Karak with Mikhail Atiyah, who's going to be telling you all the best movie and show recommendations that will keep you entertained this weekend. So make sure you tune into that from 4 to 5 p.m.
Yes, indeed. It is time for us to jump on that spaceship and go all the way to space and see you guys from space. You guys, you got little ants. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Keep social distancing, wear your masks, and stay safe. Pulse 95, Future Talk. We're going out, but we're going to leave you with some audio by LSD.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.